When I say I will cancel myself, it sounds like I hate myself or something. It's like I want to live this life, or it's like I want to press a button and sublime. But do you agree with me that we are not flawless? Do you agree that we do make mistakes and sometimes we just don't like ourselves? Even if you're such a narcissist that you think you're perfect, you still need to consider canceling yourself one day. People have talked about cancel culture in terms of celebrities losing fan support, or people receiving backlash, or individuals being at disadvantage because they come from different backgrounds. But in today's speech, I'd like to approach cancellation in a different way. That is when it comes to you and your own values. In that way, to self cancel is to intentionally refuse what was once glorified or refuse a belief that one was once thought to be eternally right. Oh, it sounds so big, right? Um, I am a teacher of English and I've been teaching for 13 years. But when I was a junior high school student, I had a different dream. I dreamed to become a biotechnology scientist because I was so interested in this, the glowing tobacco plant. It's a product of biotechnology. People inserted the glowing gene of fireflies into the tobacco plant and made it glow. I wanted to create something like that. So I worked very hard for my dream. I passed the entrance exam to National University, where you are studying. And I studied hard. I got good grades. I won scholarships. In other words, I was a successful student until my final year, when I spent most of my time in the laboratory. That final year taught me one thing important. Just because you study well doesn't mean you will do practical work well. And yeah, I didn't do practical work well. As a top student, I became a bot student. Um, yeah, I started to experience a series of failures, right? From top to bot, like this. Yeah, and I not only failed to do my own tasks, but also caused difficulties to my lab mates. And I could read disappointments in my mentor's eyes. And the glowing tobacco plan started to seem far-fetched because I could not handle even basic laboratory techniques. And even one of my mentors said to me, she suggested that I stop doing my graduation thesis here. Wow. So that stressed me. Luckily, I was doing a part time job as a tutor of English, where I discovered one true form of happiness, that is, to make people happy. And I made my students happy by turning something difficult in the sky, bringing it into the ground. I could turn difficult things into simple lessons. I could help my students understand easily. I even made them want to do more exercises. I even made them want to try harder things. So if William Arthur once said, "Great teachers inspire," isn't it a form of inspiring others? You made people want to do something they think they couldn't, right? For the very first time in my life, I felt valuable and helpful. Well, at this point, you think that I was going to quit my major and switch to teaching career, right? No, not that fast. I wasn't that indecisive. I just took teaching as a part time job where I could release stress because I was happy doing it. I told you, right? Um, I still tried to finish my graduation thesis, but deep down in my heart, I wanted to teach. I wanted to be helpful. Unfortunately, I graduated with high distinction. I graduated as a valedictorian in industrial biotechnology. Despite my messy laboratory time, my accumulated score was high enough for this. And I was offered a chance to study higher education. I was offered a chance to do master thesis at a reputable clinic. Opportunities that thousands of others would die for and had to try hard for, but I was offered all of those. But I wasn't happy. Despite my good scores, which show that I had a great ability to study, I didn't feel helpful. I didn't feel that in the future I would be helpful if I chose to pursue the career as a scientist, while at the same time I kept teaching languages and I managed to help others people get their dream come true. Wow. So, you know what? It was very hard for me to decide. Had I been a lazy student or had I been an unsuccessful student, the decision would have been much easier to make. But I decided that I become a teacher of English. From a broad and promising road, I decided to make a quick turn onto a thorny trail. I might be making the choice sound easier than it was back then because I knew what happened. But at that very moment, I had no idea what my life would be. And if my decision was wrong, I would have no return. But I made up my mind because I strongly believed in myself. I knew what I wanted. I wanted to give true values than to keep fake glories. So, and you? Do you have good grades? I think you do. You're a student for the gifted, aren't you? Do you give flawless presentations? Do you win scholarships? You do, I know you do. I know you do. I admire you. Right, you're my idols. I wanted to go to your university, but I didn't have a chance to. But you may consider canceling those achievements one day if you don't think they actually bring true values to you and further to the world. And 13 years of teaching proved that I had made the right decision. And I've been recognized as a teacher who makes things easy. You know, that's an honor for me. And I also added entertaining and artistic elements to my lessons. And that creative way of teaching attracted millions of views and followers and fans. And to some extent, I could say I became famous. And besides teaching, I made content. Like a way I said thank you to those fans who put the crown on my head, but also a way to do business because I had to promote my classes. And as a content creator, you know what? The number of views and engagements matters to us because it reflects how effective your work is. And I got viral videos on the internet. I saw my names in lines. I saw my face in magazines. I saw me on TV, and I thought, oh, I was so cool. I was truly good, and that was enough. I was at the top of the world. Oh, no, I'm on top again. No, but you know what I mean, right? But then I considered canceling myself again. Over time, the views started to decrease. And like many others, I blamed the algorithm. I thought I was canceled by social media. But I didn't accept that fact. Instead, I tried to study my own work. And I realized that I had become old and predictable and boring. Just because you're interesting now doesn't mean you will be interesting forever. So you gotta be new. But if you change too much, you will risk losing your current audience while not guaranteeing you will have new audience. So you gotta be new and interesting. It sounds very hard, right? And I was so upset about my flopping content and I was so worried about my future career that out of desperation, I even made negative content. What a shame to say so, but yeah, I did, honestly. Luckily, I didn't go too outrageous because I was aware I was an educator. But I did make arguments, and I did make rage baits, and I did attract attention and more views. But I felt something wrong deep down in my heart. Why? Views and attention are not everything. It's just like when you're standing out in the street and screaming and shouting or doing something crazy. Yeah, people will notice you. But then what? What matters is what comes next. So I canceled that mindset again. And I gave myself a difficult new question: how to be new and interesting while still bringing values to others. Oh, it sounds so impossible, right? You have thousands of reasons to say no, but just one reason to say yes. You want to prolong your career as long as possible. So I decided to study. I decided to learn. I learned to sing. I learned to dance. I learned to draw. I even learned to act. And I learned about fashion, mix match. But, thank you. But I didn't want to switch my careers to become a teacher. I'm sorry, to become a singer or a dancer or a fashion model or something. I just wanted to add as many as possible values to my lessons to serve my students better. And surprisingly and fortunately, it wowed them. Particularly in this AI era, people have been talking about being replaced by AI. Have you heard? Do you think so? Will we be replaced by AI? No. Oh, so confident. Oh yeah, yeah, you should be confident. Yeah, right. Okay, this is just a question I want to ask you. This is not a part 3 IELTS question. Don't worry about that. So, do you think AI will replace humans in the future? Oh, you feel so unsure, right? I was unsure as well. But as a teacher of English, my everyday tasks are providing vocabulary, checking spelling, or checking grammar mistakes, etc. But with the introduction of AI chatbots, those tasks are done cheaper, faster, and even more accurately. So what am I supposed to do to my learners, right? How many of you are using AI chatbots to learn a new language? Can I see your hands? Oh, yeah, right. That's right. Okay, right. Actually, me too. I'm using AI chatbots to learn Japanese, Korean, Chinese, many other languages, and to some extent, it's effective, right? But fortunately, my students are not using AI chatbots to learn English yet. Um, Maybe because they are not willing to pay for machines to be their teachers yet. Or maybe AI chatbots are not trustworthy or reliable to them yet. So either way, I have not been replaced by AI completely yet. That's right. But what if in the future those machines become more convincing? What am I supposed to do to my learners? So, before that day, before getting officially replaced by AI chatbots, I have to replace myself first. I have to cancel my own values. So, I do not correct mistakes anymore. I do not provide vocabulary so often. I do not give grammar lessons. But I teach them how to convince people. I teach them how to speak or write in a way that is easy to understand. I teach them even to incorporate knowledge into their speeches and their writings. And in order to do that, I myself have to study first to be more knowledgeable. And above all, I teach them to use AI chatbots while keeping their speeches and writings genuinely theirs. So as you can see, cancellation is not just about being competitive. It's about being different, being helpful, and up to date. I was canceled in a positive way. I proactively canceled myself, and I will continue to do so to survive better and to serve life better. I may never be able to create the glowing tobacco plan, but I believe thanks to canceling myself quite often, I have helped many others in life glow in their way. Cancellation? That's it. And you? Are you ready to cancel yourself? Thank you.